If Captain EO and the 1979 live-action film The Black Hole had never come to fruition, we may have never gotten this week's attraction. But thank the maker we did, because this week's Friday Fastpass is to Star Tours. Tomorrowland's Star Tours is a motion simulator attraction based on the Star Wars universe created by George Lucas. The original attraction sent guests on a trip to the forest moon of Endor, all while getting caught up in an altercation between the good guys and the bad guys. But fear not, as Captain Rex along with R2-D2 are there to help us navigate through it all back to safety. The first incarnation of the ride appeared in Tomorrowland at Disneyland in 1987, replacing the previous attraction Adventure Through Inner Space. At its debut, it was the first attraction based originally on a non-Disney licensed intellectual property. The original Star Tours had 4 military-grade flight simulators that utilized hydraulic motion-based cabins featuring 6 degrees of freedom, including the ability to move 35 degrees in the XYZ plane. And the film for the attraction was front projected onto a screen from a 70mm film projector located beneath the cockpit barrier. Star Tours invited space tourists to Endor, the site of the final battle of Return of the Jedi, via the Star Tours travel agency. The ride queue was designed to look like a spaceship boarding terminal. Here you see advertisements for voyages to different planets, and a giant screen informing riders of what awaits for them on Endor. Here we find some familiar faces in the form of audio animatronic characters, R2-D2 and C-3PO, as well as a life-size Starspeeder 3000, our spacecraft for the journey. I'm not going to sugarcoat this, the queue is great and it's layered with great Easter eggs, but it's long and it winds through multiple rooms until we're finally handed our 3D glasses and we move on into the boarding gate. A television screen above the door displays a countdown to takeoff time and shows images of our Starspeeder being serviced. Once the boarding doors to the Starspeeder open, we cross a bridge and into the Starspeeder cabin. Once the vessel doors close, our pilot for the trip, RX-24, or Captain Rex, appears on an interior monitor and chats to us as guests about the trip. Meanwhile, R2-D2 is loaded onto the spacecraft. Rex lowers the cockpit shield, and we're off. Once in space, Rex asks R2-D2 to make the jump to light speed. However, the ship accidentally passes the Endor moon and instead gets caught inside of a comet cluster. Right about now, you should be having fond memories of the first time you rode the original version of Star Tours. Anyway, you weave your way out of the ice comet and into space only to get caught in a Star Destroyer's tractor beam. But the good guys come in to help from the New Republic, and all these X-Wing fighters show up, and we engage in a bombing run on what looks like the Death Star, but isn't, because the Star Wars timeline and canon, which is so complicated and fragmented, and you get it. Bottom line here, the good guys win, we all jump back to Lightspeed, and get back to the Star Tours spaceport and gift shop. Which brings us to our first fun fact. The first planned attraction to take the place of Adventure Through Inner Space was a flight simulation ride based upon the Disney film The Black Hole. It was developed as a choose-your-own-adventure type attraction in addition to the simulation of flight. But 2 things nixed this idea. Number 1, the movie bombed and was not popular enough to support its own attraction. And number 2, it carried a massive price tag, something to the tune of $50 million to build. Now, to put that into perspective, Star Tours only cost about $32 million to build. And to put that into even more perspective, that's basically double what all of Disneyland cost to build back in 1955. Star Tours was the first Disneyland attraction to be based on a non-Disney intellectual property. At the time, Disney did not own the rights to the Star Wars property, and it was only through the relationship built by Disney, George Lucas, and Michael Jackson. Because all 3 collaborated to create Captain EO in 1986, Disney rode that relationship and used it to build the foundation of what would become the first of several Disney and Lucas projects. Our next set of fun facts are all about the voice actors in Star Tours. Paul Reubens voiced Captain Rex. I'm sure you remember all that makes him famous, but let's just focus on the fact that he was Pee Wee Herman at the time and had worked with Disney before as the voice of Max, the onboard ship computer from Flight of the Navigator. Anthony Daniels, the real voice actor of C-3PO in the cinematic Star Wars movies, voices his C-3PO character throughout the Star Tours attraction. In the queue for the original version of the attraction, you can hear the intercom paging Mr. Egrog Sackle, which if you reverse the letters spells George Lucas. There's also a page on the overhead system for Mr. Tom Morrow, which is a nod to the former attraction known as Mission to Mars in Tomorrowland. Star Tours has had a few updates and refurbs over the years, so here we go. In June of 2011, we got an updated ride system consisting of all new high-definition video and Dolby 3D high-definition screen. We also got improved motion simulators and new special effects with audio animatronics. But also, the attraction was time-warped, essentially set to an earlier point in the Star Wars timeline, somewhere now between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope, and it became piloted by C-3PO. Now, because the timeline shifted, this means that Rex now appears as a newly delivered droid in the queue for the attraction. Then in November of 2015, a desert planet called Jakku from The Force Awakens was added to the attraction. And then 2 years later in November of 2017, another update hit as the mineral planet Crate from The Last Jedi and Batuu, the remote outpost forest and mountain planet from Galaxy's Edge, were added to the attraction. The ocean moon Kef Bir from Rise of Skywalker was added to the ride in December of 2019, which happens to coincide with the release of the film. Oh, and Captain Rex launched a brand new career as the house DJ of Oga's Cantina out at Galaxy's Edge because it's set roughly 3 decades after the events of the original Star Tours. And now on to today's trivia question. Do you know how much each flight simulator cost Disney to purchase? If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and press that notification bell because I will be providing these segments weekly. And if you learned something new or just enjoyed the video, please give it a like and comment below. Our next Friday Fastpass will land us on our final mountain in the Disney mountain range, Space Mountain. So be sure to join us when that video drops. But now, on to answer our trivia question. Do you know how much each flight simulator cost Disney to purchase? And the answer is $500,000. Back in the mid-80s, Disney Imagineers purchased 4 military-grade simulators at the cost of $500,000 each and designed the ride structure. The subsequent attractions in other Disney parks have 6 simulators, but Anaheim still operates only 4. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching today, and we will see you next week with your Friday Fastpass.